All right. Let's go deliver this letter. Watch out for Ezio's enemies, the Pazzi. So the son, Virini, whatever, he is not real. He is fictional. But his father and grandfather, Jacopo de Pazzi, they are very, very real. And play a relevant part in this game as well. I'm not going to read a database on blacksmiths. Thank you very much. We all know who blacksmiths are. Sorry, I don't mean to sound callous. I'm going to be reading enough databases. I don't need to take up more time with that. Oh, am I supposed to go here? No, maybe you go on the other side? Yeah. So the Gonfioneri is like a judge type of person. They would try people and order their executions or punishments or whatnot.
Ah, Ezio, ben trovato. How are you?
Come sempre. I have a letter for Messer Lorenzo.
I'll see that he receives it when he returns.
Returns?
They've gone to Villa Careggi, I'm afraid, and not expected back for at least another day.
I'll let my father know.
Okay.
He'd better not be looking for trouble.
It's them. It's them!
You're getting what you deserve, bastardo!
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not going to fight tons of people. I'm just not going to kill tons of people. They'll recover. The combat in this game is very enjoyable. I tend to partake of it enormously.
Oh, basta!
The parkouring, if I remember correctly, is not as smooth as it gets in later games like 3 and Black Flag, because it took them some time to perfect it. Oh my god! Oh no! I think I just broke my neck. But it's still pretty good once you get the hang of it. I mean, not just pretty good, it's amazing. Just not as fluid. There's times I will expect Ezio will not do what I ask him to, like this time. Okay, I guess I can't go that way. Or where I'll want him to jump and he'll just fall. The parkouring in these games was phenomenal and leagues above any other game in existence at the time, but still had its problems. Okay, and you know what? Running towards the edge without seeing what's on the other side, much like in real life, not smart. Not smart.
Keep up the good work.
Bischero.
You worry too much, Giovanni. Francesco Di Pazzi's in prison. The threat is ended.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm sure it is. It's certainly not going to come back and cause problems later. Why would you think that's... Why would you think that?
Hello, son. You remember my friend Uberto?
Good morning, Gonfaloniere Alberti.
To you as well, young man.
I trust you delivered the message.
Si, padre. But it seems Lorenzo is out of town.
I did not anticipate this.
What does it matter? So you wait another day or two.
Listen, your mother and sister have been looking for you. I'll need you again in a little while, but for now, see if you can't help them.
Are you sure?
Yes, now if you'll excuse us.
Good to see you, Ezio.
How do I see remember I said I want to make sure that I... Hello. Race, courier, treasures. Good lord. I'm trying to remember how to synchronize 100%. Or was that something that didn't have a thing in this game? Maybe... Excuse me. Maybe that wasn't something in this game. Maybe it was only in the first game. Well, that'll make things easier. Or in later games. I know in later games, like Revelations, it had it. Maybe it didn't have it in 2. Maria Auditore. I grow tired of these walls that surround me, and I am bored with safety. Now is the time to make a decision. I will go out there and see what my life may truly be. Maria wrote those words when she was 16, a week before she met Giovanni Auditore. Born into a powerful banking family, the Mozzi, Maria was one of the most famous historical sources of the time period due to her multiple-volume diary, which has been translated by several notable scholars and is on display at the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. With funding from her parents, Maria opened up a bakery in the courtyard of her family palazzo, which she transformed into an artistic gathering place. It was there that she met a man with such conviction I found myself rooted to the spot, unable to look anywhere else. That man was Giovanni Auditore. Maria and Giovanni were married in 1450. Maria's diary entries continue for the next few decades, describing her patronage of several up-and-coming artists and her trials as a mother, at which point she abruptly abandons her writing to the disappointment of historians everywhere. Now, obviously, the Auditore are fictional, which would lead me to believe that Maria is fictional. But maybe like Christina, she's based on a true person, because there seems to be a remarkable amount of detail there about scholars and diaries. Give me a second. Okay, no. I can't find anything on her being based on anyone real or that her diary is real. It's just fiction for the game, which is fine. Just, I was curious. Hey. Hey, Mom.
Buongiorno, Ezio.
Buongiorno a voi, madre. Come state?
Sto bene. And you? Still recovering from last night?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course not. Anyway, I have an errand to run. I'd like you to join me.
Con piacere.
Come, it's not far from here.
Okay. My sister's gone.
I know about your fight with Vieri.
What fight?
Per piacere. Let's not play this game.
He spoke ill of us. I could not allow him to continue.
I'm sure he's having a hard time dealing with the accusations against his father. Francesco di Pazzi is many things, and none of them good. But even I never suspected he'd be capable of murder.
What will happen to him?
I imagine there will be a trial.
Will father speak at it?
He'll have to. He's the one with the evidence.
Still, I wish there was another way.
You've nothing to fear. Everyone wants justice done. It is an unfortunate state of affairs, but it will pass.
Uh-huh. I don't think Francesco de Pazzi wants justice done. Not in this way. Well, I bet you he does. He just doesn't see justice the way we see justice. Everyone thinks they're in the right. Leonardo da Vinci opened his own studio after completing his apprentice at Vercello, one of the most successful Florentine artists of the day. Which is true. Between 1476 and 1481, Leonardo probably continued to collaborate with Verrocchio, although no one is quite sure what he was working on. In 1481, he was given his first commission by the monks of San Dano e Scopeto to paint the Oration, I don't know, of the Magi. Adoration, oh my god, squee. The hell. The Adoration of the Magi. In true Da Vinci style, he began the painting but never finished it. That's true. There's so many paintings he never finished. Like the Mona Lisa. Did you know the Mona Lisa was never
Here we are.
technically finished? The background was never fleshed out as much as it should have been. Carried that painting around for years.
Hello, Leonardo.
Madonna Maria,
This is my son, Ezio.
molto onorato.
L'onore è mio.
Let me go and fetch the paintings. I'll be right back.
Paintings that probably
He's
took him
very
years.
talented.
Immagino.
Self-expression is vital to understanding and enjoying life. You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
Back to your house then.
Sì, sì. Ezio, help Leonardo, will you?
Alright, I love Leonardo da Vinci. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Can I please? Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna read Leonardo. It's a holy cow game. Leonardo da Vinci. He actually doesn't have a last name. I believe Da Vinci means from Venice. The illegitimate son of a notary and a peasant woman, Leonardo da Vinci was raised in Tuscany. Like many destined to be superstars, he has no surname. Hey, Vinci! It being the town in which he was born. Okay, so it was not Venice, it's just the town he was born in. But I was right. Look at me. At the age of 14, he was apprenticed to a Florentine painter, Verrocchio, who taught him chemistry, drafting, painting, sculpting, and modeling. When he was 20, Leonardo established his own workshop and then traveled across Italy, eventually painting his great masterpieces, The Last Supper and the Mona Lisa was not one of his great masterpieces. Get out of here with that nonsense. You know, alright, mini rant. The only reason the Mona Lisa is famous is because it was stolen. It's the most famous painting in the world and it was nowhere near his best work. It's just the picture of a woman. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good painting, it's far more skill than I have, and it's a great display of Leonardo's technique. I forget the name of it because I'm not an art historian, but Leonardo had this technique he developed with oil painting that helped shade things really well so that you could really see emotion and contours and all that, which it's a great example of. It's great, but to call it one of his masterpieces? Come on! Virgin on the Rocks is a masterpiece. The Last Supper is a masterpiece. The Mona Lisa was a painting that got stolen, and that's the only reason why it's famous. And when you go to the Louvre and you see 100 people standing in front of that tiny Mona Lisa, and you're just like, why? Why? Not to mention that right across from the Mona Lisa is the biggest oil painting in France. I forget who painted it. It wasn't Leonardo da Vinci. It was some other guy who put himself at the center of the painting in white robes so that he's more prominent than Jesus. But it's the largest painting in France. It is utterly huge and gorgeous and super impressive. Does anyone care? Hell no! They're all lined up at this tiny little Mona Lisa painting. This, sorry. Rant over. I promise. During his travels, Leonardo studied the world with unquenchable curiosity, recording his observations in mirror writing within his notebooks. He created designs for a helicopter, tank, solar power, and a calculator, among others. He was also an engineer, designing garrisons, cannons, and movable barricades. He was the definition of a Renaissance man. Despite this epic list of accomplishments, Leonardo was honored by his patrons for his chronic procrastination. Hounded by his patrons for his chronic procrastination. Pieces frequently took years longer than he anticipated, and many were never finished at all. Leonardo also had a tumultuous love life. Accused of sodomy in 1476, he was most likely homosexual. Salai, his assistant, was accused of stealing and spending too much money on clothes, but was also probably Leonardo's lover. Leonardo painted several pictures of Salai, including his famous Saint John the Baptist, and left the Mona Lisa to him when he died in 1519. Yeah, but seriously, go look at Virgin on the Rocks and then compare that to Mona Lisa and call that a masterpiece. You know, I'm sure there's probably an art historian out there that's saying I'm so very wrong. Excuse me.
So Ezio,
There we go.
what do you do?
He's been working for his father.
Ah, you're to be a banker.
For now. And you, Art, was it?
Truth be told, it's been difficult for me to settle. Painting is nice, but I often feel like my work lacks, I don't know, a purpose. Does that make sense? I'd rather contribute more practically, more directly. Architecture, perhaps, or anatomy. I'm not content merely to capture the world. I want to change it.
Oh, Leonardo. I have no doubt you'll go on to do great things.
Vi ringrazio, Madonna. That's kind of you.
Yeah, no, Leonardo da Vinci was really a perfect example of what's called a Renaissance man, which I'm sure you've all heard, but you may not know what it is. It was a term in the Renaissance to define a type of person. This is a person that was a little knowledgeable about a great many things. A Renaissance man is a man who is maybe master of none, but jack of all trades. It's someone who knows a lot about science and politics and art and philosophy and medicine and this and that and this and that. It was a very noble thing. It was considered, if you were a person of prestige, you should be a Renaissance man, which means that you could be a master of one thing, that's great, but they wanted to be good at all kinds of things. And Leonardo is a perfect example of a Renaissance man.
Thank you for your help, son. Don't let me keep you from your other duties.
It was nice to meet you, Ezio. I hope our paths cross again.
Anch'io.
The idea of a Renaissance man has fallen out of favor in modern day. In modern times, we prefer specialists. You are not considered, it's not considered as respectable today to just have a knowledge about a great many things as it is to be a specialist in your field. We respect doctors and lawyers and scientists who, you know, astronomy scientists who are specialists in their field. But we don't care if there's someone out there who knows a moderate amount about a great many things. We don't care. We want specialists in the modern age. Oh, hang on. What's this out here? Someone with a PhD is far more respected than someone with 5 bachelors. I mean, I don't know anyone with 5 bachelors, but I'm sure everyone here will agree with me. You have 5 bachelors, you're like, oh, that's impressive. PhD, oh, that's impressive. You see what I mean? Yeah. All right.
What are you doing out here, Petruccio? You should be in bed.
I want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
If I get them for you, will you go back inside?
Yes, I promise.
Alright, Petruccio's. Obtain the eagle feathers for Petruccio. Now, I will be collecting the feathers, because I don't remember exactly what, but it has something to do with Ezio's mom. Something about collecting the feathers helps, or there's a bit of story attached to it. I don't remember exactly. But I will be collecting all the feathers. Whee! Probably off camera. Whoa! Okay. Let's just jump to the other side. Whoa! Okay, that's not exactly where I wanted to go. But anyway, to continue my point, in the Renaissance, a Renaissance man was more respected than many specialists. Like, for example, you can have a blacksmith who is arguably a specialist in the field of blacksmithing, but he would not be as respected as someone who's considered a Renaissance man who had a decent amount of knowledge about a great many things. And the reason for that is, and I'll just point this out here, this is just a theory of mine, but the reason I think for it is that education was much harder to come by in the Renaissance. It was a rich man's thing, or a woman's thing. Most people were not educated. And in order to become a Renaissance man, you need education. You didn't need to be educated to be a blacksmith or a cobbler. Whereas today, where education is given to everyone, or most people, it's fairly easy to have a decent amount of knowledge about a great many things, and much harder to become a specialist. It's kind of weird those roles have flipped.
Here, as promised.
Grazie, brother.
You still haven't told me why you want these.
I will. In time.
Hey, Claudia. How are you?
Bene.
You shouldn't keep things from me.
It's Duccio.
What of him?
I think he's been unfaithful.
Who told you this?
The other girls. I thought they were my friends.
Harpies. You're better off without them.
I loved him.
No, Claudia. You only thought you did.
He should suffer for what he's done.
God.
Wait here. I'll go have a word with him.
What? Isn't that a... First of all, you gotta shave that soul patch, Claudia? I mean, you're rocking it. It's fine. I'm just curious if you, you want to keep that soul patch or not. But what an emotional shift. I love him. He must suffer. Oh my god. You know what she reminds me of is that villain from Reboot that had the different faces, the different Okay, no one's going to remember what I'm talking about. But my gosh, what a shift. Jeez. If that's her temperament, I feel sorry for her boyfriends. Oh, Duccio, I love you. Get away from me. Ooh, money. Kiss me. Go to kiss her. How dare you touch me? Oh, is this the... Yep. So this is a real building. And it's very realistic. I'm not going to read all that. It's very realistic. As, like I said, there's a drawing of this from the 14th century, and you can clearly see the tower. Should I go do this now? Why not? This is a big tower. Let's go do it. How do I... Oh, God! Ow! Ow! That hurt. That hurt just a little bit. What? You want some piece of me? Kick him while he's down.
Ah, you shit, you!
Ha! Excuse me, Cardinal.
Shame!
Uh-oh.
Stronzo! Vergogna!
Shame. I did not do that. That was not me. I do not take responsibility for whatever the hell just happened to that man. Hang on. Why aren't those two moving? No, it's fine. Hey. Okay, not that way. How about... You know what I might need to do? I might need to climb up here first. Do. Alright. Now what? There we go. Okay, yeah. And then from here, I'll jump. That's an impressive dome. I'll jump over here. Haha. No, you want an impressive dome. I mean, that's nice. An impressive dome is the Pantheon. Which I saw for the first time about a week ago. No, half a week ago. That's impressive. Largest concrete dome in the world. And it was built in Augustus's time. Very early AD or late BC. I forget which exactly. But, huh. Bet you have to go this way. But, yeah. Concrete was used by the Romans a lot, actually. But a magnificent dome. It's still used as a church today. It's actually one of the most well-preserved buildings from ancient Rome in existence because it's been used as a church for, 800 years or so. So it's been remarkably well maintained. And it is incredibly impressive to go inside. Wait. Why are you still flashing? Didn't I loot you? Maybe I didn't. Oh. Yep. I need to wait until I hear that noise. Okay. Well, let's just keep climbing up. Okay. Aha! Ha-ha! To the top. There we go. Okay. I gotta admit, Assassin's Creed 2 has some nice draw distance. Pretty big city. It had about 100,000 before the Black Plague hit it. The Black Plague was in the 1350s, right? So this is over 100 years later, so it's probably recovered. The Black Plague took out about half the population. Half! Can you just think about that for a second? 100,000 people. It's a little under 100,000, but 100,000 people. Half of them taken out by the Black Plague. 100 years, give or take, so maybe 70,000? 70,000 people lived in Florence-ish, give or take a little bit, around this time period. It's a pretty big city. Pretty big. Whee! That's a snap neck.